it's time to get it lit. We got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets, fool?
That's a close encounter of what kind?
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they match up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start.
52 is the mic. 52 is the mic. They can't hang with us.
Now a man closing in on 15.
Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Career rush yards, Frank Gore. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
They cannot block it. Let go.
Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
And every time I spotlight Frank Gore, who turned 36, and man, I feel worse about myself. Fantastic physical condition, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and one of the top runners in NFL history.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Kroft. Remember, he had a season-ending foot injury last year with the Bengals in Week 5. So the Bills get him, and he re-injures that same foot in May in OTAs, but out there now and says he's feeling pretty good. Allen. He's got Gore. Now they can't bring him down. Still going. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Push him back.
Now a delayed give to Gore. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So don't say nothing. Kill.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
In the opening script, however, they drew it up for this. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
On the return, it's White. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach...
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on 1st down, Allen, the left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Allen. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Now Allen. It's complete. It's Gore. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Dalton on the right side, caught by Green. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 24-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw again, Dalton. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Allen now on first down. He hits Beasley right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Allen now looks to throw. On the left side, he finds Beasley. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, it's Gore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a play fake here on first down. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 25 yards that time. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Under 10.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Green with a catch left side. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, they'll run with Gore. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Dalton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football.
2 by 2. Move. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So naturally, they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. From midfield here, Dalton. brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd and 7, Dalton. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Eluding the pressure right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Bullock will put this one through, and now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back now comes the offense. Madden Spotlight time. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Throwing now is Allen. And that's complete to Brown. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Hands up. Lead. 93, 52, 93, 44. Hands up.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Milano. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Another try after the first down sack. Dalton now is hit, and Dalton lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball. I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Nick Vigil. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Hey, check.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Passing, it's Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bills to take over. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to the Giants last week, and they do lead here right now, and they've got the football obviously as well. 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Coming to you.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete it.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. So Dalton now. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Allen with a throw caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Sean Williams. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And Beasley with it over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
To throw, it's Allen, and he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Allen throwing again. And the grab by Croft. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Down to lose one. Shit.
Regular.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. White now to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Minneapolis. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Nick Perry with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now Joe Mixon fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Cincinnati, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the